What is going on, Shibarmy? This is your boy Random Arts coming with a quick video. And on today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Bone Shiba Swap token. I've been seeing so many questions that are asked of me. What's going on with Bone? Am I still bullish? What's my price target? Like, guys, nothing has not changed. I am not a fickle investor where I'm just changing my stance. Yes, the price is at 18 cents. The reason why the price is that low is due to the fact that Bone got delisted off of OKX. OKX is a popular exchange, and I definitely do understand their decision of why they're delisting Bone is due to the fact of lack of activity, lack of volume. Because there's lack of volume, um, we do see the price, you know, is the way that it is because they're going to take it off, because the way that these exchanges make their money is based upon fees. So if no volume, no interest, then they're essentially not making money off of the pair of Bone. So for the people who are just like, oh my god, this is the end, doom and gloom, like, stop crying on the internet, because at the end of the day, guys, nobody truly cares. Like, this is what I'm trying to make some of you guys to understand. Not all. Like, nobody really cares if you are down 10,000, 100,000. Nobody cares. Like, you crying and whining about it on the internet, it just makes you look bad. And also, it it almost eliminates anybody else who wants to actually try to get into Bone because they're seeing your posts. And again, it's not all that are just doing this, but it just, like, certain people on X, like when I pop up, like, it just automatically pop up in my feed. I don't know why. It's not like I'm following them, but it's like, oh my god, Shaitoshi Kusama, do something, come save me. And this just lets me know majority of the people who are invested into Bone, you heard $100 price target. Oh, you do the math, you see what the price is, how much you could make, but you never actually assess the asset to be convicted in, to do your own research, to have your own thesis, have your own stop loss on any of this. Many people don't do this. And this is something that I've made countless videos about. Have a plan. Stick to your plan. Whether it's getting out of Bone, if it crosses, 30 cents, you're out, 20 cents, you're out, eight, like, these are the type of plans that you're supposed to make before buying into it. Because the same people that was crying was the same people talking about, like, you know what, I'm just going to keep buying the dip. And guess what? If Bone continue to keep dipping, they're just going to cry even more. Like, buying the dip without a plan is not a viable solution, because again, you're just adding more and more size, and as each tick, you're just going to get emotional with the trade. And again, what's the reason why you're even in Bone? If your reason changed, then you probably should change the asset that you invest in. For me, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, because like I stated from the get-go, and let me just play this video for you guys. And these are some of the videos, guys. I put Bone Shiba Swap token concern. I made this video June 7th, 2023, guys. So 2 years ago. Over 2 years ago. Made this video right here a year ago, talking about the great Shiba Rocks opportunity, low risk, high reward. You made the video right here, talking about if everything goes wrong. Like, I made so many different videos when it comes to Bone, all the different scenarios. And this is why when people are like, oh my god, Random Arts, are you gonna make another video about Bone? Like, for what? Like, for 2+ years I covered Bone every single way possible. From me being right, from me being, wrong, from my concerns. And I'm just gonna play it for you guys so that way you guys can really understand. And hopefully, you know, this would just be the video that gives some people conviction, or it's the video that actually helps somebody to move on and find something else. Because again, so let me just play this video for you. So I'm gonna speed it up so that way this video is not extremely long. Army, this is your boy Random Arts coming with a quick video, and on this video, guys, we're going to be talking about Bone ShibaSwap token. So before I get into it, like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinion about Bone ShibaSwap token. So taking a quick look here at Bone, sitting at 77 cents. Low of the day is 73 cents, while we have a high of the day at 79 cents. Still, the range in itself, it is still a little tight. So not too much going on right now for Bone, but nonetheless, Bone is still kicking. Now, made a couple of videos this past few days, and I seen the response from you guys, and it seems like you guys are ultra bullish on Bone and are excited about Bone, which you should be. In my opinion, Bone has one of the biggest as far as upside currently right now in crypto. And the reason being is some of the stuff is already like a little bit predictable with the launch of Shibarium, and not only with the launch of Shibarium, I'm just seeing like all the commitments of some of the people that saying that they're going to be building on Shibarium. So of course, Bone right now, it is a no-brainer at 77 cents. So and this is the last, not last video, but the video that I made earlier last week. And again, response of it, super good, meaning communities engaged, people like to see this type of video. So one thing about me is that I don't want to get you guys always high without letting you guys know what are the potential downsides. So these are the upside of Bone, but you also understand the potential downside of Bone. Yeah, and that's exactly what that I always try to make people understand. It's not just $100, $100, $100. But you also have to look at the downside. This isn't any investment. Like, you gotta look at your downside as well too. So one thing about it when it comes to the stock market, even though there's still scams in the stock market as far as different stocks and stuff like that, but those are typically in the pink sheets or the OTC market. NASDAQ stocks, some of them are scammy as well if you don't know what you're looking for. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to stock, they have to, especially if it's like a listed company, they have to let the investors know their, going concern. Like, what is the potential downside of this particular stock? And in crypto, we actually don't have that. So this is a mindset. Yeah, that's one thing in crypto. There's no perspectives that is drawn out of what are the risks of this token not being successful. And this is why due diligence is very, very important whenever you're investing. Said that I think that us as investors within crypto have to adapt. So taking a look at this stock right here, HOTH, which actually had a nice run yesterday, up 78% from yesterday. And we also have BMR up 49%. So now this is not a stock video, but I'm going somewhere with this. So there's something that's called the filings, SEC filings, or sometimes you can look this up in a prospectus. But each quarter, it is required, especially if it's a NASDAQ stock, it is required for them to, release their quarterly report. So right here, Hoth is the same stock that's up 78% on the day. So if I'm an investor and I see something that I'm looking to invest in, first things first, you do have to look at the filings and see whether or not if this is a good company. I'm not going to go deeply into the filings or anything like that because, then it'll start to get really boring. But one thing that I do like to do is look at the quarterly filings and type in concern or going concern. When I do this, the company by law or per SEC rules have to release like what are their concern as far as with their business, and they will plainly lay it out for you. So going concern right here for Hoth or HOTH, it says going concern requires management to evaluate the company's ability to continue as a going concern 1 year beyond the filing date given financial statement. So it pretty much explains what's a going concern. So the first one is, first, management must evaluate whether there are condition and event that rise substantial doubt about the entity ability to continue as a going concern. So it goes a little bit deeper into that. And the first thing it says, the company has funded its operation from previous proceeds from sales of equity and debt securities. The company requires significant additional capital to make investment. It needs to execute its long-term business plan. So first concern that they're saying is pretty much say, hey, we don't have any money, so we're going to need significant amount of capital. And even to add on to that, the way that even in this filings, it stated the way that they were able to fund their operation was by selling their own shares. It's similarly to how you see tokens, they're selling their own token just to being able to have that capital to keep the lights open. And this is what I've been talking about. And yeah, and Bone, I don't think Bone is any exception, because again, the way that everything is set up for the team to continue to operate, they do have to sell their own tokens. So to be able to keep our doors open. So that's one of their concerns, guys. Like, they plainly outline that for you. Now, when it comes to crypto, most of the time we don't know. We don't know any of this, or we don't even bother to think about that. And again, I don't want this to be like a downer video, but I just still want you guys to be level-headed when it comes to investment. Like, again, I'm super bullish on Bone, and this is why I continue to buy day in and out. But that's one of their concerns. Now, if you look at this, the BMR, which was up yesterday, 49%, they also have their own concerns as well. And some of the concerns, if we take a look at it here, it is a foreign company. Well, it really doesn't matter because, it's not really about stock. Well, the same thing for them is capital. Like, they don't have the capital to be able to sustain. So they have to do something to be able to raise that capital to continue to fund them.
So now if we fast forward it over to Bone, guys, what are my going concerns for Bone? Like what are some of the stuff that I see that
Now I start going into what are my concerns about Bone? Like, what do I think, if it does not happen, why Bone would not be able to reach $100 if this happens?
that could be a potential downer where Bone may not be as successful, because you always got to think about your risk, but you also have to you always got to think about your reward, but also think about your risk. So Shibarium, that's one of the number one, because Bone existence is for Shibarium. So if Shibarium does not come out, or if Shibarium does not do success is not successfully, then Bone price is not going to do as well. So this is the stuff that you guys have to.
Guys, this is before Shibarim was even launched, and I was already dissecting this play. Whether or not, if it is, my risk, my reward, because I figured Bone, it is going to be a long term play. It is going to be a long term play. Was in a bear market at the time, and I figured that, okay, Shibarium don't come out, then Bone is pretty much useless. So now that Shibarium's out, listen to the next thing that I stated.
To understand and realize as well. So the success of Bone is solely relying on Shibarium. Now I know that they're getting CertIC audit, make sure everything's on the up and up, which is great. Even though I think Shibarium, the launch and stuff like that, all that is going to be successful, but I can't 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, say like, hey, it is going to be 100% successful. Like,
The success of Shibarium.
that part is out of my hand. But as far as me being an investor, to be able to do risk reward and analysis, I have to keep that in the back of my mind. Like, okay, if Shibarium is not successful, then I can expect the price of Bone to tumble even more, because everyone's currently.
The price of Bone, I can expect the price of Bone to tumble. So have Shibarium been successful? In terms of integrating projects in, and the answer to that is no. So because of that, because the whole thesis, again, the whole thesis of Bone getting to $100 is certain stuff have to happen. I didn't pick a number just randomly and just gave you guys, a Bone $100. No, I gave you guys a thought out thesis of what needs to happen in order for this to happen. And this is why, like, I get so confused when people are like, Bone is not reaching $100. Like, the stuff that I mentioned already happened, and you know, and Bone just did not reach $100. Like, that's the weird part that some people, and again, this is how I know from the people who truly watch my video, or really understand crypto, because they'll try to mock you because you have a thesis. Like, then what the heck are you doing? If you're investing, don't you have a thesis? But I guess for many of them, they just buy it like, oh, a dog coin. Let me just click the buy button. Oh, the dog coin, their mission is to smile at you. Let me buy the dog coin. Like, these are the type of people that I see comment day in and day out. They have no clue, no action plan, no. It just like random buys. You know what I mean? Just randomly doing stuff. So let's continue.
Right now purchasing it with the hopes of Shibarium is going to be successful. So another part to that is the adoption rate. Like, how many people are going to flock to Shibarium? Now we have some of the numbers from previous where about 7.
Adoption rate. There goes the other stuff that I'm saying. These are concerns. Back in June 7th, 2023. Again, Shibarium was not out. These were the concerns that I had after I did my analysis.
7K entry as far as people want to build on Shibarium. So if some of them like say, hey, the project take too long, I'm going to recant and not build on Shibarium, then it could stunt the growth of Bone, because more and more projects that get into Shibarium, more and more Bone is going to be required.
There it goes right there. More project that gets onto Shibarium, the more Bone is going to require. Because as they get Bone in their liquidity pool, guess what it's going to also do to the price of Bone? It is going to make the price go up, guys. I mean, the thesis in itself, it's extremely simple. You need adoption. You need people coming in. As people come in, then Bone would do well. If people don't come in, then Bone would not do well. Like, it's simple as that. Based upon my thesis. So it's like, how do you gauge whether or not Bone is going to do well? Like, you just gauge it based upon the activities, integration. Hence why I'm extremely bullish on Roaring Kitty, because guess what? Roaring Kitty is what is Roaring Kitty trying to do? Is trying to get as much bone as possible into the liquidity pool to help with the mission, guys.
So that's my going concern as far as for bone. So you may have your own, minds may be different from yours, but at least have some stuff in your mind as far as like what could possibly go wrong. Another thing too is the team decide, because since the contract is not renounced, and these are not FUD, these are all concerns as investors that people must have. I'm ultra bullish on bone, but I also have my eyes open as well too as an investor. So what if the team rugs? How likely is that? Not likely in my opinion, because they'll actually make a lot more money with the success of Shibarium, with the success of bone, versus them, taking a few million. So to me,
All
it's a
concerns.
concern, but the likelihood of that happening, it's not that high. But there's always that possibility. Again, we are in crypto. So thought I'd make this video for you guys. Don't mean for this video to be a downer. I just want you guys to be open and also use some of this stuff for your other investments. I know.
And the crazy thing about it, you know how many people out of 2 years, how many people watch this video? I only got 566 views, right? Because people like to ape into random crap just because of someone say, hey, this is their prediction. Oh, they always think they're always looking at it from the greed aspect, like, oh, this is how much I could make. But you never look how about, you never look on how much you could potentially lose. And this is why people be aping in 50K, 100K, 20K into a project and don't even have a sense of risk. So this was probably not the video that you guys thought you were gonna get, but at the end of the day, if Bone's at 18 cents, and you're crying because you're down, a lot, then at the end of the day, that's on you. Like, I'm looking at my portfolio with my Bone. I'm not down that much. Yes, I'm down. My average in Bone is somewhere around like 60 cents ish. So, I mean, that's pretty. That's a pretty good loss. You know, I mean, it's unrealized, but at the end of the day, I didn't ape in with that amount of capital. So it going to zero, like I mentioned in other videos before in the past, I can live with. It ain't gonna ruin my whole life or anything like that. Would it suck? Absolutely, it would suck. But many people, many people don't look at it like that. So, last thing, hopefully, this is a wake up call, because I've been trying to wake a lot of people up when it comes to what needs to be done, us as a community, versus just looking at it from a standpoint of one person needing to do everything, or just heavily relying on the team. If we all come together, that's really the solution right now. If we all come together, from people in Bone, people in Sheeb, like, everything could turn around just that fast, that quick. But many people are lazy. They rather whine about a problem but not look for a solution. Again, solution that I've been providing is, hey, let's get some of these bone out of these G10s. One way you could do it, you mint an NFT. What is the NFT proceeds gonna do? 100% of the proceeds is gonna be used for Shibarium. So meaning, Bone is gonna get bought onto the open market if we all come together collectively by just doing this simple action. But guess what? People are not going to do it, but they're going to still wonder, like, why things are not happening. But that is all that I have for you guys today. This is a extremely long video, but I think it needed to be had. I think it really needs to be had. So now, decisions on you. Bones at 18 cents. What are you going to do? You going to sell? You going to make a plan? You going to buy the dip? If you buy the dip, have a plan. If you sell, have a plan. But yeah, that is all that I have to